Good evening. It's Valentine's evening on February 14th, 2015. And it's a cold New York night. And I thought I'd take a couple minutes and share a couple thoughts with you from one of the recent themes we've been discussing at our church, which is encouragement. And we've been talking about how encouragement is helping people to move forward and to not quit. A lot of times people are paralyzed, they're stranded in one place, whether it's because of fear, weariness, discouragement, maybe they're just comfortable. And encouragement is helping folks to move forward. And I was thinking about failure as one of the reasons why people kind of stop in their tracks. And I wanted to read this to you. This is from a book, The Winning Attitude by John Maxwell. And he's talking about Abraham Lincoln. And he said, Abraham Lincoln, a biography of failure. He had a difficult childhood. He had less than 1 year formal schooling. He failed in business in 1831. He was defeated running for legislature in 1832. He failed again in business in 33. He was elected to the legislature in 34. His fiancée died in 1835. He was defeated for speaker in 38. He was defeated for elector in 40. He was married in 1842. Of course, his wife, there were some problems there, and Maxwell says the wife was burdensome, to say the least. Only one of his 4 sons lived past the age of 18. He was defeated for Congress in 1843. He was elected to Congress in 1846. He was defeated in 48. He was defeated for the Senate again in 1855. He was defeated for vice president in 1856. He was defeated for the Senate in 1858. Now, I'm glad, and many African Americans are also glad, that Abraham Lincoln didn't quit in 1858. And he had every reason to, with that long resume of failure in his life, with some successes, but the successes sprinkled the failures more so than the other way around. He was elected for president in 1860. So, a lot of people handle defeat in a lot of different ways. Either hide it, deny it, they fear it, they ignore it, and they hate it. But very few people ever learn how to process some of their failures. And by learning from them and by allowing those to shape you, not by defining you, but by motivating you to, and learning from them to figure out, there's a plan here. And without God and without Jesus Christ, it's impossible to go forward after failure. There's no reason to go forward after failure, really, without Christ, other than some other kind of maybe a selfish motivation. But I just wanted to read this last verse here, this other verse that I've been thinking quite a bit about. This is Isaiah chapter 40, and it says, "Have you not known? Have you not heard? The everlasting God, the Lord, the creator of the ends of the earth, neither faints nor is weary. His understanding is unsearchable." Listen to this. "He gives power to the weak, and to those who have no might, he increases strength." Boy, there's been so many times where I've, really run out of strength, run out of steam, run out of motivation. And something that God does, whether it's a word from a friend, a song, or just something in a message, or especially from the Bible, that encourages my heart to move forward. It says in the following verse, "Even the youth shall faint and be weary." And we've certainly seen that in our day and age. A lot of young people today having tremendous difficulty. Even the youth will be weary, and the young men will utterly fail. But in verse 31 is the key verse, and many of you have probably heard this verse before. "But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They'll mount up with wings like eagles, run and not be weary, and walk and not faint." There's a category of people that are promised here, promised to God's people, that if folks will plant themselves before God and not run from Him or walk away from Him or perhaps withdraw from Him, that in time God will renew, strengthen, He'll give His strength, And what was a failure and what may have been some tastes of defeat will fade quickly. And God will elevate the believer above those things and elevate your life to go to the next step. And God doesn't want you to have a life defined by failure, especially with verses like these. So, those who wait on the Lord will renew their strength. They'll walk, mount up with wings like eagles, run and not be weary, and walk and not faint. So here's our little fireside chat tonight. I just wanted to encourage you. Hey, don't quit. Don't give up. Even if you've, recently maybe you've failed, and maybe you have some regrets, or maybe you're ashamed. All that fades in the light of Calvary and what Jesus Christ did for us. There's forgiveness in God, and in forgiveness, there's strength that cleans the slate and allows us to start over again. His mercies are brand new every morning, and God's grace and finished work allow us to keep moving forward, even in the face of our own failures. We're so glad to be able to communicate with you, even on a night like tonight. We've had to cancel our church services for tomorrow because of what the Weather Channel is calling dangerous wind chills, maybe 20 degrees below. But I did want to communicate to you and wish you a happy Valentine's Day.